What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss last night's main event in the UFC between Jared Cannonier and Nassourdine Imavov. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly to help the channel grow. Alright guys, getting right into it. Nassourdine Imavov defeats Jared Cannonier via 4th round TKO. Rather controversial, right? To me, I thought it was an early stoppage. I know that there were some fighters out there, cage side, that said it looked way more violent in person and that it just looked way different and that they actually agreed with the stoppage. But nonetheless, I mean, from my point of view, I thought it was a bit of an early stoppage. I thought a little bit back and forth. I had it 2-1 Imavov going into the 4th, but Cannonier was landing good shots in his zone. He just wasn't, he was having a lot of difficulty with the range, right? Imavov was doing very good with the range. He was actually like not really retreating as much as I would have thought that he would have in this fight, where he was, Jared was putting him in these situations where he could either retreat or stand and fire back. And we saw him stand and fire back in several occasions, clipping Cannonier in several occasions. So I thought once we were going into that 4th round, I thought that Imavov was kind of starting to go away with it technically. I just thought he was just working his range, and I just thought that he was just landing more volume and an equal power that Cannonier was landing on him, if that makes any sense, right? But nonetheless, I thought the stoppage was just, I thought it was early because I thought Cannonier, I thought he was still doing good defensively, even though it wasn't looking good for him, right? It was not looking good. He was fucked up. Imavov had him in a bad spot, but you got main event. A lot is on the line. Cannonier's 40. He doesn't, he's only got a couple years left in him. I thought he showed life, defense, a little bit of awareness, even though that his equilibrium was fucked. I thought he was doing enough to keep the fight going. Herzog saw something different, and he even answered on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck and said himself, he's like, listen, man, in there I saw something different. I had a different point of view. I will look back and, I don't know, like word for word, but he basically said that he will reevaluate the fight and his decision. Sorry. It was a good fight. It was back and forth, a little sloppy, but I was impressed by Imavov. I would have expected him to be more on his back foot, more of that fight. But he made the decision, which I was, something I haven't seen from him too much was basically, okay, I have to stand in the fire here and get this guy's respect. And he did that. And Cannonier did keep moving forward, but Imavov made him pay for it. So going into that 4th, I'm pretty sure I had it 2-1 Imavov. I had a little bit of crown apple last night, so feeling a little good there at the end, but man, that shit was such a bummer. Feel for Cannonier. Moving forward, I think you run it back with the boys. I really do. I think you run it back. I think that's just what makes sense with the controversy that's behind it. It wasn't like Imavov was fully running away with the fight, even though I had him ahead. Cannonier too, being the guy who, I think it makes sense. I think you rebook it, you put it on a pay-per-view. A lot like Ankalaev and Ion Cutelaba. Makes sense, right? I mean, except the whole possum thing, but I'm just saying, like, the whole controversy aspect of that, I think it deserves a rematch on, like, a pay-per-view, a higher scale. I like to see that. But it was a good fight. Sucks for Jared Cannonier, man, so I'm pulling for you. Again, I think that, though, Imavov should not really get any, like, shit for this, because you can't hate on this guy for what we think the referee making somewhat of a bad call. So for Imavov, respect, great performance. You were putting it together really well. You weren't retreating like I thought you normally would have. You actually went out there and tried to earn your opponent's respect and just would not be bullied. I liked that. I respected that because I think that's something that you kind of needed to do. So, in no way that this is Imavov's fault and nobody should treat it as that way. So hopefully, but I just think that it's fair for a rematch. So yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. That's my thoughts on the Cannonier versus Imavov main event. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly and to help the channel grow. All right, guys, Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.